friends, I'm Zara Durrani and I'd like to welcome you back to another exciting episode of On Location in Vancouver. And today I'm so excited to be on location here at the Vancouver Folk Music Festival, one of the city's most beloved celebrations of music, storytelling, and connection. Today I'll be chatting with the festival artistic director as well as the president of the board of directors about what it takes to really bring an event of this caliber to life. This year they're celebrating 48 years of Vancouver Folk Music Festival with the 50th anniversary around the corner. So let's go take a look. We're so excited to be here. It is my very first time being here at Jericho during the very famous Vancouver Folk Music Festival. And I had the opportunity to sit down with the lovely Erin Mullen, who is the president of the board of directors. Thank you so much for welcoming us.
Oh, my pleasure. Glad to be here.
So tell us, what, for someone like me, who is a first-timer, newbie at, this is such an iconic festival, and you can feel the vibe. I feel like I'm in a different city. There are folks camping out. The vibe is just so electric, and I can't believe I've been missing out on this fantastic festival all along.
And what you say reflects what happens is that people come here for the first time and they want to come back. And we have generations of people. So there are people who brought their kids here, and then their kids are bringing their kids, so then the grandparents are here. It's very family friendly. The music's amazing. The park is beautiful, but the sense of community, I think, is the most valuable part.
I mean, look at the mountains, like the views. Like, this is certainly a vibe here, and like you said, it's more than a festival. It's about the community. It's about the people, the food. I see so many vendors here. You have, this is massive. So for anyone out there who has not checked out the Vancouver Folk Music Festival, now it is in its 48th year. What would you like to tell them?
Once you start coming, you can't stop, and there's lots of us who end up being lifers. So I was involved as a volunteer in the past. I used to run the volunteer parties. We have a couple people on our board who've never missed a festival, so they've been in all 48. We have 2 people, one of whom has never missed a day of the festival, which is great. And then we have a younger generation who's also on the board. One of our members has performed here. It's a festival that we treat artists really well, so the artists are really happy. And there is this magic that happens on the workshop stages. There's the main stage, which is the evenings. Really great performances. We do short sets, so an artist will get up and do 2 songs while they do the changeover for the longer sets. But the workshops are artists coming together from different traditions, different countries, different types of music. And there's they play together in this transitory beauty. This moment is created that will never happen again. So there is magic in the music and in the vibe, the feeling, and it's just a really safe place for women and kids, and I love that.
Tell us about your position, your role right now, and I would love to hear how you folks pick the artists, the musicians who get to play here in Vancouver with this magnificent backdrop. Like, the backdrop here is like, you can't beat this. No wonder folks are coming down here from New York.
Yeah. And one of the things is when artists play on the main stage, the view that they get is the sunsets. They love it. They love it.
It's a natural high you can't beat.
It's really great. It's nice to be, outside in the summer. It's a good thing. And, when I'm a bit less busy, sometimes I nip just outside and go for a swim at Jericho Beach, which is really nice. So my role, we're a nonprofit society. We have a board of directors, and I've been a member of the board for 4 years. This is my 3rd year as president. And after we have our annual general meeting, they elect or re-elect. At the AGM, they elect us or re-elect us, and then the first board meeting, we decide who's going to be in the role. And there's a group of us that have stayed in the 4 executive positions. So my job is to support the staff, to fundraise, not just my job, the job of the board, to fundraise, to do community outreach. The programming is done by our amazing artistic director, Fiona Black, who's been an industry professional programming music for 30 years. So she knows the music scene really well. She is incredibly knowledgeable, but she also, I think that one of the great differences with Fiona is she programs local artists. And because she goes out to hear music all the time. Like, I can't keep up with her, but night after night, she's going out to gigs and hearing music. She knows all the musicians. And I was talking to a local musician just this afternoon who said, people in the artist community love Fiona and they respect her because she's really fair, she's really knowledgeable, she's really kind. So we have the benefit of her wisdom and experience to program this really diverse lineup of artists from different parts of the world, different traditions of music. And yes, it's a festival where you learn about music. It's a festival of discovery, which is really cool.
So I would love to hear what's in the future and what makes the festival, the Vancouver Folk Music Festival, so special this year, and what can we expect for the 50th?
So I think one of the things, and I actually wrote an article for the program guide about this, is there are so many women who are stepping out of traditional roles. There are artists who, before, the women could only play a background role and not be in the lead, and now they're in the lead, and they are advocates for language and culture. They are changing things in really interesting ways. So I think that's one of the things that's special. Is a really strong African component to the program this year, which makes me really happy. And just every year I find new artists. So Margaret Glaspie is from New York. She's a singer-songwriter. She was on the main stage last night and she just blew me away. Her voice was just extraordinary. And we're going to try and figure a way to get her back to the festival, but also maybe back for some other gigs in Vancouver.
Love that. And, talking a bit about representation, folk music is often rooted in activism and storytelling. How do you see representation and diversity when making those decisions?
I think that diversity, it reflects the strength of this country. And this is a year when we're proud, we're thinking about these things, and when we're looking at places where diversity is being squashed, and here it's what we celebrate.
Amen.
So that's and Fiona can talk more about this. She has a lot of just criteria to cover a lot of bases in terms of diversity, gender. We have a strong Indigenous program every year in terms of the artist, and that it's so important, but it's also such great music. We get to turn people on to some really cool music, and that's fun.
Tell me, what made you get involved with the festival, and when was your first festival that you attended for the Folk Music Festival?
I attended in my 20s as a student. The first time I wasn't even living here, I came from Victoria. I came to the festival. I got really hooked on it. I lived out of the country for a few years, came back, started volunteering, and I've been volunteering pretty much ever since. I took a bit of a break, but I used to run the volunteer parties, which was very fun. I took a break because I did a master's degree, and then I've gotten back involved, and I love it. All the people that work on, that make this project, it's just a wonderful group of people. I made some really good friends out of it, some lifelong friends. And that's one of the things, for those of us who've been coming for years, we see so many people we know. It's a place to reconnect. I had some friends who came for the first time, and they're like, I've met so many people that I know. And they're 20 years younger than me. So it is a place where people make friendships, relationships. We've had a dedication last year on the main stage to a couple in their anniversary, and they met at the festival.
No.
right? We sang happy birthday to an 80-year-old last night who's rarely missed a festival. So that kind of stuff it's really part of the joy.
So tell us about the vendors and the food scene here, because I notice you have a really diverse food scene at the Vancouver Folk Music Festival. And Cinnamon was asking me what I'm doing afterwards. I'm like, I think I'm going to grab a bite.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
hungry.
really
because
great food here.
as you're walking past the trucks, I'm like, yes, I want mac and cheese. Yes, I want the samosa. Yes, I want this. I want that. I'll have one of everything. So tell us about how you guys pick the food trucks that are here, as well as the vendors who are showcasing their work.
So we have a food and beverage manager, and she coordinates getting it's getting the food vendors, the food trucks to come, and she's mindful of having a range of things so that we can please as many people. And there's a lot of them we work with for years. And then we have an artisan market and community village. So we have community organizations and then artisans who are selling their works. And it's a great opportunity for them, but it also benefits our audience as well.
Completely. Well, someone like me who hasn't really had a proper lunch today, that's what I'm going to be doing afterwards. Before I let you go, is there something in particular, something special this year that you would like to highlight for our audience to watch out for, or for those who are missing out like me?
Well, I would say we put tickets on sale at Christmas. We have a holiday ticket sale, and that's going to be the best price for tickets. So that's a way, if somebody's interested in the festival, they can get the most affordable weekend pass. It's a great Christmas gift or holiday gift, Hanukkah gift. And it really helps us. So the other thing that helps us is people who are our supporters. People start coming in and think, I'd like to become a donor. And we have people who are sustaining donors, and they give us a little bit of money every month. But that in our off season in the winter, when we don't have any revenue, it helps keep the lights on. So this festival is very much community supported in terms of the volunteers, in terms of the audience, in terms of the donors.
Brilliant. Well, Erin, thank you so much for taking your time. Really
thank you. I really appreciate having the opportunity to talk about this festival. I love it so much.
My pleasure. And I'm going to make sure to stop by some of those food trucks. So that's next. Well, Fiona, thank you so much for welcoming us. We're here with Fiona Black, the artistic director of Vancouver Folk Music Festival, and I'm so excited I get to speak to you. This is my first time ever checking out the Folk Music Festival.
What do you think?
I'm loving the vibes.
Awesome.
I was saying, I can't believe all these years I've been missing this, and especially the beauty over there with the mountains, and I didn't expect it to be this massive. So if there's anyone out there who is planning on coming next year or for the 50th anniversary who may not be a local, what would you suggest to them?
Come. It's a very welcoming festival, and I feel like we're building back stronger, maybe a little smarter, I hope. The post-pandemic is definitely more challenging times for, getting audiences out, and it's just more challenging times, what can I say? There is such a variety of music that, we're all about diversity and inclusivity for artists, not just local artists, artists from across Canada, international artists, and we do champion, the underdog, like the marginalized voices. We give them voice. That's who our stages are for. We bring a lot of artists in that it's their first time coming to Vancouver. I feel like we're a little bit of ambassadors for our city, and we bring them in for this very special experience of our festival. They get won over. They think Canada, Vancouver rocks, and it's lovely to see that transformation of people coming for the first time who've never been to not just Vancouver, but Canada.
So as the artistic director, I would love to hear from you when it comes to making the decision who's going on that lineup. And I hear that diversity and representation and inclusivity is certainly something that you all are really aware of. So tell us about the lineup this year. It's the 48th Vancouver Folk Music Festival. 48th, yes, that's what I said.
Yeah, okay.
My accent, I have an accent, yes. And we have the 50th happening in 2 more years. So what are your hopes, how we're going to aim and move towards the 50th, and what is happening this year?
This year, I'm really pleased with how the lineup came together. My first criteria is quality, artistic excellence. Like I have to feel that the artist is special and has something to say, and people will love this act, and it will be a special experience for them. If it's not special for me, why would it be special for our audiences? We have a pretty savvy, discerning audience base, and they love music, and they'll be the first to tell me, like, well, that artist was not really, up to par or up to the usual standard. So we have a high standard. But that being said, I'm blessed because there are just so many incredibly talented, unique artists out there, and so many artists that are deserving of a space in our and we only have 44 spaces this year.
Can you tell us a bit about the lineup and where the artists coming from?
Yeah, I'm really proud to have a little bit of a focus on Africa this year. We have 6 acts from Africa, from all over Africa, from South Africa all the way to Morocco. It's so amazing. So the differences of African music are on display here. We have 6 Indigenous artists, 5 of which are Canadian, and the other Indigenous artist is from Australia. So every year we love to dedicate a portion of the programming to Indigenous artists. It's really important to us, our mission. We are on Indigenous land, of course, Coast Salish people. So that partnership is fundamental to us. But always having an Indigenous artist from a different part of the world is really neat, and having that artist interact with the other Indigenous artists and the Indigenous community. It's quite something. We have a little focus on Scotland this year with 3 bands from Scotland. I have Scottish heritage, so that makes me really proud. I love these acts. And I don't know, we've got some bands from Europe, from Australia, as I said.
I would love to hear the feedback the artists would give to you, because to stand here and to look at those mountains, that's really something.
Oh, it's stunning.
And obviously you have the folks, here to, like, you have all these audience to appreciate your music, but that is something.
It's almost competition for the like, the artists are on this main stage, as you can imagine. They're looking out, and as the main stage goes out, the sun goes down. So the artists are watching the sunset, and it's at a certain point, it's like the light is just gorgeous, and the artists are like, why are you looking at me when you could be looking at that? Because they're facing the stage, of course. So it's always, that never gets old.
It's a special and spiritual experience. You're doing what you love in this beautiful city.
I've seen eagles soar over the audience. That happens a lot here because we're in eagle territory, and crows chasing them, and people are just kind of blown away by. It's a magical place. It's special. We've had 48 years of history here. Like I don't know. Like it's imbued into the space here. It's very much part of our identity as being at this park. We get so many compliments from people the world over. You're in the most beautiful place ever for a festival, and we know that. And I feel like our programming has to match that beauty and majesty and be equally inspiring.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. I know you have your hands full because you got all these artists coming in from all over the world, and I'm so excited to be here to listen to some music, to smell some great food,
awesome.
And perhaps make some new friends. Thank you so much for taking the time, Fiona.
Thank you for the support, and nice to meet you.
Merci, avec plaisir.
Yeah,
okay, folks, I gotta tell you, as a first timer here at the Vancouver Folk Music Festival, I'm so glad I came out today here in Kitsilano to Jericho Beach Park. What What an afternoon of soul-stirring music, powerful storytelling, and a vibrant sense of community. From global voices to local gems, this festival is more than just a lineup. It's a celebration of culture, of roots, and human connection. Until next time, I'm your host, Zara Durrani, and I'll see you soon on Location in Vancouver, produced with the support of TELUS STORYHIVE. Thank you all for tuning in and watching On Location Vancouver. If you'd like to share your story with us and be a guest on the show, please scan the QR code and someone from our team will get in touch with you. We'll see you soon.